Blackout said our thoughts should be as high as the eagle flies. It is true. We have to have lofty thoughts. We have to have a broader view. We all respond. We respond to those that encourage us, and we respond to those that discourage us. And so let us be the one to open our mouth and say, move forward, climb higher, try harder, do your best. There's a new sunrise tomorrow. Better days are ahead for our Native people. Let us talk about who we can be. Let us talk about hope. I believe with all my heart that every Native American has an ancestry of noble Indian men and women who gave a lot, sacrificed a lot, that you and I might be here in the 7th generation. So what is it that they had? They had spiritual strength, they had physical strength, they had mental strength, and so do we.
There's hope in finding out who you are. There's also a sense of tradition, a sense of, I do have something back of me.
Once we know where we come from and all that, you have a good feeling, in your heart to go forward, and you say, this is me.
Realize how much that our grandparents and our great-grandparents instilled in us, instilled a willingness, a strength, and courage to go and be successful. And then success comes in many ways. We today measure success by wealth. That's just one form of success. But being successful means being a good father, being a good mother, being a good community servant, to help your people. All of these is a part of that success.
So if the people can actually take the challenges they face and live the virtues and the values of the culture, the tradition, the spirituality of the past, the virtues and the values that empower them, transpose them into a present-day power, and live them in your social life, in your educational pursuit, and in your professional pursuits, whatever it might be, you're going to be the warrior of the 21st century.
The canoe journey, it shows that we have to be a team to get from one place to another and work together. Working together, we can go places.
Our ancestors did this. What kept me going was the songs. We sang panel songs all the way here.
Those who doubt themselves are those who became disconnected. To help them understand that they're part of a greater universe than just themselves, that they're not here alone. They are connected to family and to a community.
So you really have to make your own path, and you have to make sure that what you're doing pays honor and respect to the generations that have gone before you, that have given up so much for your benefit, so you could be here.
Once I got involved in going to powwow, seeing what a actual powwow was from start to end, it kind of opened my eyes and showed me the importance of learning my traditions and keeping up our ways.
If you want to be a smoker, then that's what you'll be referred to as a smoker. If you want to be a drinker, then you'll be referred to as a drinker. But if you want to go on the good side and be an outstanding Native American, then the whole world will know you, and they'll come to you.
We need to learn our language and learn our culture and keep it alive.
I'm a Mohawk Indian. I've been an iron worker for most of 25 years. I started at age 20 on Tower A of the World Trade Center in Manhattan, and I worked across the country on many, many skyscrapers. The experience of working high altitude iron is exhilarating, but fraught with danger every step you make. You've got to have your balance, and we're not any less afraid, but we know how to control the fear and the circumstances you're in so that you can get a satisfactory result. For each person, it's the same lesson. You've got to learn how to walk in society, just like you have to learn to walk in the air. So right in the center is quiet, and everything's okay. You're in balance.
All Native kids, they can start learning their language. Just start off with 5 easy words.
I really love be Native American. They should be proud. They should stand up, show people who they are, because that's what God gave them. That's who He wanted them to be.
And we look at our challenges that we face regardless of what age we are. Who is there to help us? Who really cares? Who wants to be by our side? It is the Creator God. And it is through Him that the power of hope is possible.
I think a lot of the time you get so overwhelmed with the new technology and everything that society has that you forget about the simplest things, like kneeling down to say a prayer.
The Creator gave you special gifts. You have a talent. I don't know what it is. It's your job. You find that talent. And you find out what it is and you use it in a good way that will make this place a better place to live.
We all know that the things that we're fortunate to have are gifts from God. They were given to us. They can be taken at any time. But we know that God is a loving God, and as long as we continue to follow His Word and His 10 Commandments, that He will continue to bless us in the way that He has. So for me, every day has got to start with a prayer. For me, I need to put the armor of God on every day, and that's how I do that, by starting my days every morning with prayer. My kids understand that. We all pray as a family. Getting to the state tournament was something that we said last year, Coach and I. We said, we'll get these girls there. We just have to work at it. We have to fight through everything. We have to get through everything. And it all goes back to prayer. It all goes back to starting our practices with prayer and ending our nights with prayer. It's just one thing that our girls have really bought into is that there's a power greater than ourselves.
What they need is the Creator in their life. And they need spiritual guidance and direction. And that is a great heritage of all of our cultures.
The discipline that the Creator has given to each and every one of us through our elders is to be able to exercise humility, being able to exercise compassion, and most of all, integrity in all of what you do.
You say your prayer every morning when you wake up, at night before you go to bed, and just pray for good things to happen, to come your way, and in time they will.
We all made an agreement with the Creator before we were born, because our body is just a physical shell. It's just a shell, and we have a spirit, and our spirit made that agreement with the Creator for us to be born. And each one of us are blessed and gifted with something different. But it's up to us as individuals to fulfill that blessing, that gift from whatever the Creator has given us.
I believe that prayer works. And if it works for me, it can work for anyone.
I think if you lack spirituality, you lack direction.
Prayer is a very essential part of who we are. You'll see that every powwow we go to, every function, and when we honor our students or honor people, we start with prayer.
Prayer, they say prayer is one of our most powerful virtues we have today.
Seek your spiritual strength.
You follow the sacred path. It doesn't always take you to where your passion is. It takes you to where the Creator says, this is where I want you. And when you can experience the passion that He had for you, it's the ultimate.
I have met many Native Americans who I am really impressed with. They have turned their lives around. They've wanted to be happier. When we take a different path, when we choose to turn around, when we choose to improve, when we choose to change, there is power that is just immense.
We lost games, we had setbacks, we had turmoil, we had difficulty, but we kept our eyes on the prize. It's what you do when you're coming out of it is going to be the difference. How did I learn from this? What did I get out of this?
There's going to be setbacks, but the thing is that you have to learn from your mistakes and don't give up. You have the choice, and you can make the either positive decisions, to affect your future, or you can make negative decisions.
I know it looks glamorous, on TV, being in a gang, slinging drugs, but it's not all that. It's not, because there's death, there's sorrow, you hurt the people that you love. I even got shot, at the age of 14 by a rival gang, so that's when I kind of came to the conclusion that I got to do something to change my life around. There are consequences to your choices.
There's people out there that try to pull you off the right road, and sometimes those are some of your best friends, and
That's the tough part of maturing, is within your own mind saying, well, I don't think that's a good choice for me to go and do that.
I made the change. I'm making a difference within my life. So anything's possible if you change, if you want to change. But the key is that you have to want to change. No one can change you for you.
For a long time, I believed there was no such thing as happiness. I was in a domestic violence relationship for 9 years, and I felt I had no way out. You know, I believed that this was going to be my life forever, and I was stuck in a lot of shame. It's a life or death situation. You know, it gets worse and worse. It does not get better, and it did reach that point. I realized I really need help because I was like in this state of hopelessness and depression. I went into a domestic violence shelter, and I started my whole life over again. When I first felt that freedom, that was a big thing for me, was the freedom I felt to be me. And I could actually be myself without being condemned.
The doctor had told me that you either stop drinking or you die. He introduced me to a member in our community that knew about a 12-step program of recovery and hope. I embraced it. There's consequences to our choices.
Young adults think that they can't change. I would just tell them the same thing that was taught to me, and that is, there's no such thing as I can't. What you really mean there is I don't want to. I finally had to come to a point where I had to take a hard look at myself and say, you know, what I'm doing is just wrong. You know, stop just worrying about myself. Oh, poor me, poor me. You know, I got it so bad. You know, I hurt a lot of people, and I don't want to hurt people no more. You know? At some point, I had to become accountable for my own actions. I don't believe in excuses. I just believe that at some point there needs a time to grow up. You know, I always thought that I was a man. You know, because I drank hard and I partied and I got into fights and I chased women and I did all these things. But today, I know a man is somebody who looks after their children, who's responsible, who does what the Creator wants to do them to the best of their ability, which is what I try to do. I mean, obviously I'm not perfect, but I try to do these things to the best of my ability. The joy and happiness that I get today has to do with watching my little son. He's growing up. I've been there since he was born. Just spending time with my family is fun. We go four-wheeling in these hills. It makes me happy to see other people happy. It makes me happy that I'm not inflicting more pain on people's lives anymore. And that brings a good feeling. You know, I think when you do what the Creator wants you to do, things just go better. When you don't do the things Creator, then I end up in jail, then I end up drunk, then my kids get hurt, and then my family gets hurt, and then I'm stealing, and then it's a lose-lose situation.
If you drink alcohol or you do drugs, it will guaranteed make you more depressed. So if you're having girlfriend, boyfriend problems, these kinds, don't go that route. I think the Indian centers across the United States is one of the most important links as far as Indians coming into the urban setting. Many of them I know have employment, have housing, have mental health, have programs that are going to be there supporting. They have powwows, they have traditional things going on. So I think they're one of the important keys coming from reservation into the urban settings. And I would encourage everyone, if there's an Indian center, go down and use it, go down and take advantage of that place.
The hope for our young people is that we do have people that care. We do have people that are putting these videos together and doing these things. Don't use the excuse that you're Indian to keep yourself down. You've already talked to somebody that can help you. If you're watching this video, there are people that care about you.
If I see one person out here on this reservation or anywhere and they change their life and put down the drugs or the guns or the money and the sex and put all that stuff down and started getting right with the Creator, then the one person makes a huge difference.
If you want the future to have opportunities for you, you have to prepare yourself. And how is that done? I only know of 3 ways. Number 1 is listen to your heart, because your heart tells you what is good for you. Desire, the power of desire, wanting to have self-improvement in your life. Number 2, it takes courage. You know, finishing high school, finishing college, it does take courage in these days. And so you have to have courage to say, I will finish the race, whatever I do. But last and most important is follow through. If you don't follow through with energy, commitment, effort, all the dreams that you have all the things that you say you want to do will never come about. It all comes down to personal preparation.
So if you don't have a high school diploma, where are you going to go? What's going to happen? Who's going to support you? But when you have that diploma sitting in your hands, you'll be like, all right, what's my next step? College.
Education really is powerful. They can raise their quality of life. They don't have to be in low-paying jobs.
This is an example of one of my works, and this is part of the voice that gets heard with the Native youth.
As you go and get a high school diploma, and get a college degree, it just empowers you, gives you more choices, opportunities to advance in today's society.
Whether you're talking about developing an athletic skill or an artistic skill or the ability to teach or build, these are things that when you develop these things, that you share them with others so others can follow. The whole idea is not to just find out how many doors are open to you, but how many doors can you open for others.
Through high school, I tried really hard so that I could get into the college application process, and then studying for SATs and ACTs and scoring well on them, and then applying to these schools and then getting accepted. It's going to take a lot of work and it's going to take a lot of effort, but once you get that work and effort done, it's totally worth the payoff.
For me, my dream ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to finish my school and do what I wanted to do. And I did that. I fought my way here, and I'm here and I'm loving it. And you may not like math, you may not like writing, but it's a part of a bigger package, and you do it no matter what. It doesn't matter if you like it. Some things you just have to do it. And in the end, it's not about this little term paper or doing math. It's about the end goal and the person it makes you into. And so you don't give up.
One of these days, you might be a tribal chairman, you might be a councilman, you might be some decision maker that'll affect our people. It's very important to try your best at whatever you do, always 100%.
We shouldn't let money be our deterrent. Scholarship money is there for you. Grant money is there for you.
We all want a better life. And how can we do it? We can only do it with education. Because nobody can take that away from us.
I believe in myself now. I believe I'm just as important as those other students in the classroom. That I'm there for the same reasons they are, and I'm gonna work just as hard, and I'm not dumb, and I don't need to be intimidated.
If you need a mentor, a tutor, if you need help, ask. There are people out there willing to help.
Physical health, big push. You see a lot of spas and those kinds of things. Oh yeah, everybody wants to get buffed out. Well, we need to buff this out too. If we don't buff this out, buff here isn't gonna work if we don't have buff here.
I love the beauty of autumn. The squirrels, the deer, they don't rely on anybody. They don't ask, seek assistance. They have to do everything on their own. Survival means doing something, taking action. It's a reminder to me that as I watch Mother Nature's creatures busily preparing themselves for a harsh winter, a long winter, that we too as Native Americans should be taking action, doing something, stepping forward. We should be self-reliant. We should be able to take action and say, I can do things on my own. I can get things done. I have the mental capacity. I have the brain power. I have the genius from my ancestors. Take action. Don't just sit and make excuses and walk around feeling sorry for yourself. You have to take action, because when you take action and you get things done on your own, there's a sense of achievement, there's a sense of hope.
You are responsible for you. Your actions are, your actions, and they don't belong to anybody but yourself. Your parents are there to guide you, they're there to teach you, but at some point you take that responsibility on yourself, and the consequences that you face are because of your actions, and that is your responsibility.
We are who we make ourselves. And we base our lives upon what we do, not what other people have done to us.
The learning aspect is hopefully they
take in the values that we set for each family home evening. Fun is when we get to spend time with one another. The things that we share, I really think it's important, laying a foundation for my children. They need to know how important family is. We meet once a week and we try and focus on something that we need to work on. This really connects our family and we want them to remember this. And when they have their own families, they will do the same thing.
A lot of people nowadays are all about themselves, about greed, about I need to have this, material things. That's what runs their lives. Give back to the community somehow. Do something for somebody else.
The more you give to others, the more your life gets easier. It's kind of a backward societal message, but it's true.
So I decided I'll see if I can raise some money. If I can raise some money, I'd work with the infrastructure on reservations. And we have probably raised the help of multitudes of people in America. Cash and in-kind in the last 22 years, probably $85 million for several Indian communities in America. And it was my giveaway to give back to the people that empowered me and helped me win a gold medal. But the empowerment they gave me was challenging me to continue to live the virtues and the values of the Lakota culture.
They need to know what it means to take a healthy risk versus a bad risk. They need to know what it means to make positive choices, and they also need to look at the bigger picture. What's going to happen if I do this? Is it going to have a positive outcome or is it going to have a negative outcome?
As a master artist, it takes a lot of discipline to get up every morning, go to work as though you had a job and create art. There is a path that you have to stay on in order to be successful. I wasted a good number of years, maybe 10, 15 years, to alcohol and some drugs. That is time that you never get back. You just have to stay with it, stay clean, stay sober, and focus your energies on what you want to do.
So we have to become visionaries and think about next week, next month, next year. How are we going to get there? What will it take for us to get there? What resources do we need to be there?
We're powerful people. We're mighty people. We're good people. And we come from amazing traditions. And we can do anything we want if it's toward the good. Action comes from attitude. What we say and think means something down the road, and it has consequences. Once you put your mind to something and then you make it happen, you'll want to do it again, because that's the greatest feeling in the world.
I wanted to be an Olympian. So my beautiful memories of Pine Ridge, I remember running out in the clay hills. I'd run 3 or 4 or 5 miles a day. I also started imagining hundreds of times a day, thousands of times, breaking the tape at the Olympic Games, winning the gold medal. In Tokyo, Japan, the race gets underway. We're down to the last lap, and I'm in 3rd place. Running faster than I'd ever run in my life, but I'm going low blood sugar. It was back to virtues and values, and win with dignity. It was just one more try, coming off the curve. I have to go now. And I'm lifting my knees, I'm pumping my arms.
Look at Mills! Look at Mills! Coming on! Mills is coming on! It might be Bill Mills! What a tremendous surprise here! Bill Mills of the United States wins the 10,000 meters! Bill Mills of the United States, a tremendous upset!
Billy Mills, the only American ever to win a gold medal in the Olympic 10,000-meter run.
We have to follow a dream. It's the pursuit of the dream that heals us. And we have to look beyond the hurt, the anger, the hate, the jealousy, the self-pity, and find the dream. It's the pursuit of the dream that heals us. And my dad simply said, follow your dream. Every dream has a passion. Every passion has its destiny. And I would just challenge people to find that little warrior within themselves and to bring it out.
So let us begin the new journey, the bright new path of seeking and asking every day to say to yourself, with the Creator's help, I can do all things. Anything is possible.
I come from the Standing Rock Reservation. I have hope because I really believe in our youth.
I'm proud to be Native, and I have hope because we are the future. What we do today affects what happens tomorrow.
I'm Navajo, and I have hope because I have reason, and with reason,
I can't be stopped.
I am Six Nations Mohawk, and I have hope because I know that anything is possible.
I see great children every day that have potential, that have a future, that have a dream.
We have a world of opportunities at our hands.
What is in our culture is hope, understanding, spirituality, and prayers. With those 4 things, anybody can wake up and be so happy about themselves. There is hope in this world.
You can do anything you want in this life. You just got to want to do it, and you got to have that drive and determination and motivation to succeed and open those doors for other people, and that's what I hope to do.